What is up, Dallas Cowboys fans? IndyCar Tim here with your Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz for today. It's Monday, August 12th. It is the day after the preseason loss to the hated Los Angeles. I'm just kidding. Nobody really cares about the Rams, right? Nobody cares about the preseason. Nobody cares about the Rams. Nobody cares that the Cowboys lost, unless you're maybe the players or the coaches. And even then, I don't really know if anybody cares. That's not what the preseason's about. The preseason is not about wins and losses. The preseason is about more, player development, player evaluation, scheme efficiency. With Mike Zimmer coming back in as the defensive coordinator, you want to see things from that side of the ball, and not a ton of starters played really on either side of the ball. So you don't know what you're going to get really until you get well into the regular season with the regular starters and more consistent players on the field for either side of the ball. So one of the big things that we'll take away from this, and I had about half of the people on X agree with me and about half disagree with me, but I think it's safe to say that the Trey Lance experience, the Trey Lance experiment should be done. I think the Cowboys have seen pretty much what they need to see from him. The fact that he cannot even supplant Cooper Rush as the number 2 quarterback at this point in time should tell you all you need to know about Trey Lance. And he did not look good on Sunday. But that's a topic for another podcast for another day. I'll probably do that as we get closer to the regular season, when we see Trey Lance a little bit more, but I can't fathom anything he would do short of looking like Troy Aikman out there in the early 90s to take over that number 2 quarterback job from Cooper Rush. There's no way he's better than Cooper Rush right now. He's definitely worse. And I'm a little disappointed. I was kind of pulling for the guy. But again, we'll get into that at another time. I wanted to focus today on the defense. As the defense made a really big impact. Mike Zimmer's defense made a huge impact. You had 4 interceptions. You had another interception that was nullified by a penalty. And you had a potential interception that was dropped in the end zone. And those 2 the nullified interception and then the dropped interception, those 2, if you really want to boil it down, cost you the game. As well as the defense played, both of those drives resulted in points. You lose by 1 on the very last play from scrimmage for the Rams with 4 seconds remaining, that touchdown pass. By the way, Stetson Bennett, I don't know if the Rams are happy with him. I know he's been off for a year, taking care of the things that he needed to take care of that are way more important than football. But happy to see him at least back on the football field, but can't imagine the Rams were too happy with what they saw out there yesterday on Sunday. But, as far as the game goes in general for the defense, look, nobody cares about the score. Nobody cares about, that the last drive didn't look great for the Cowboys. They had a hard time making stops. They committed some penalties that extended the drive. Marquise Bell, I thought, by far the player of the game on defense. I was highly impressed with Marquise Bell with everything that he had on Sunday. But, as far as the defense goes, there's not a ton of starters out there. We're not going to see what the defense is going to bring to the field in the regular season. Mike Zimmer is not going to show his hand here. Same thing with what they're calling the dynamic kickoff. I hate that name, by the way. It's the stupidest name they could. It's just a kickoff. It's the new kickoff, but it's the kickoff, and it's not a new kickoff. The USFL did this back in 2020, and it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I covered the USL, the Arlington Renegades, back in 2020, and it was one of the coolest aspects of the game. I thought it was amazing, and I think it will be amazing in the NFL. The teams are going to have to get used to it for sure. But you look out for that kickoff to be something special here this year as the teams enter the regular season. But, as the defense goes, the second half, The Cowboys kept on the ball. They kept putting pressure on Bennett. Julius Woods got in on the interception action. Eric Scott got in on the interception action. Rookie linebacker Rott Mogensen got into the interception action. But as bad as Stetson Bennett looked, I thought the Cowboys defense looked that good. And you can attribute a lot of Stetson Bennett's poor performance to the scheme that the Cowboys were running and the positioning, the hiding of the blitzes, the hiding of the coverage, and that's all part of Mike Zimmer's defense. And that's a lot of that's going to be what we see this coming season under Zim. And I'm excited to see it for sure. But, aside from that last drive that cost you the game on the scoreboard, I thought the Cowboys did a lot of really, really good things. They showed a ton of potential on defense. Some of these young guys showed a ton of potential. Really, like I said, really like what we see out of Keezy Bell. And there's the defensive line held its own for the most part. We'll see how that continues as they shake things up and they continue to rotate players in and out, both on the ends and on the interior of the defensive line. But overall, I thought a great performance by the defensive defensive unit for the Cowboys, and I expect to see more of the same for that as they take on the Raiders and then the Chargers in the final 2 weeks of the preseason game. But that's what I thought about the game, about the defense. I would like to know what you thought about the defense. Let me know at IndyCarTim on X. You can also find me on Instagram at IndyCarTim. Or if you'd like to comment, leave me a great comment here underneath the video in the YouTube section here in the comments section. By the way, thanks for tuning in to FanStream Sports, fanstreamsports.com, the FanStream Sports mobile app, and FanStream Sports TV, which is our YouTube channel. Just go find it, subscribe, click that bell. Also, you can subscribe to the Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz podcast on your favorite podcast app, wherever you hear your podcasts, or over at fanstreamsports.com, along with our other great content over there. We'll do another one here probably middle of the week, previewing the Raiders, maybe talking a little bit more about Trey Lance. Until then, boys and girls, we'll see you.